8:15. That's the unmistakable sound of Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons. You probably remember their hits like Walk Like a Man, Ragdoll, many more. It seems hard to believe that it's now been more than 20 years since their first one, Sherry, was recorded. And of course there's Brenda Lee. Also, she has an unmistakable sound, whether it's in a ballad like I'm Sorry or in Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree. At the age of 6, she was already a regular on a television show, and soon she was called Little Miss Dynamite, and it's easy to see why. This week we are celebrating some of the great music of the 50s and 60s, and it is a treat to start off with both Brenda Lee and Frankie Valli. And good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Ooh, just hearing that music, I mean, it brings back, I think, in a lot of us, a lot of feelings, a lot of memories of school and dating and things. When you see yourself at that age, what kind of memories does it bring back to you?
Well, after you get over the initial shock of seeing yourself that age, it brings back a lot of happy memories, because I was very happy in my career at the time, and it was a lot of fun, which today for me it still is a lot of fun, but I think a lot of that's gone, a lot of the innocence and just the energy and all of that.
I see you shaking your head over here, yes, a little
Well, you know, I look at that particular clip that you had was, I think, from the Ed Sullivan Show.
That's right.
And those times, for the way we were dressed and everything, we thought that was pretty cool. I look at it now, and it's...
But you have said that when you got your first hit, I mean, you were in your 20s when you first started getting your big hits, that you still didn't feel real secure about your career. Why is that?
Well, the record business is a very strange business, and you never really do feel secure about your success, especially if you're a recording artist. The thing that you're concentrating on most of all is having hit records. Later on you realize that hit records are just a very small part of it. And it took me a while to get to understand that. And the most important part of what you do is that you are an entertainer and a performer. So your career should not depend on what your latest record is.
One question we want to ask, did you really name your group after bowling alley?
Yes.
You did?
A bowling alley that we auditioned for. It was a bowling alley cocktail lounge, and we
Did you get the job?
No, we didn't get the job, so we took the name.
Figured you'd get something out of the deal.
Right.
Brenda, when you started at age 6, how was that for a little girl growing up? You must have gotten a tremendous amount of attention. How did that work in a household with other children?
Well, I had been singing for a while, but my dad died, and it was more or less a way to help support the family. So I loved singing, and to me, I thought every kid went on the stage and sang. And when I got out of line, my mother gave me a smack, and you know, so I wasn't really treated any different. And then when I started recording at the age of 10, I didn't have any hit records, and I was in a school that either the kids' daddy sang or their aunt was in show business, you know, because it was in Nashville, Tennessee. So,
and you still live in Nashville.
Everybody was in show business, so it was no big deal. And nobody ever really told me that I was any different, so I didn't act any different.
Of course, you now have a family. You have a husband, 2 children?
I have 2 girls. I have an 18-year-old girl that's a freshman in pre-med, and I have a 13-year-old girl.
A proud mommy over here. I see it on the face. Sure. You've said several times that you've retired from singing and recording, but as a matter of fact, what are you? Didn't you just record another album?
I retired for 4 years in '76 to be at home and be with my girls, but I just finished, well, it's taken 2 years to do it, but it is finally out on the market. It's a new album, a 20-side album, duets with Dolly Parton, Chris Christopherson, Willie Nelson, and myself.
Did you have fun doing that again?
We had a really good time, but it's taken a long time. We had to wait till Dolly finished the movie, and had to catch Willie when he wasn't working, and Chris. So it's been kind of hard, you know, to get it together. But it's out on the market now, and we're proud.
Well, Frankie, you still have. I mean, you have the 4 Seasons.
Yes, and we currently have an album out on KTEL. In our situation, we own all of our masters, so we've had this all through the years. So we've released, I think it's 20 or 30 hits, and we're in the middle of doing a new album. I have a recording studio in L.A., and one of the original Four Seasons is Bob Gaudio, who is still my partner.
That's right.
And we do lots of traveling. I mean,
And what about the others besides Bob? What about the other original Four Seasons?
They both got out of the business. One for reasons of not being able to tolerate the road. I mean, it takes a certain kind of person to be able to go out on the road and do one-nighters. And the other one just thought that he would like to settle somewhere else and just stay, and he hated flying.
Of course, it makes it easier to stay in it and put up with being on the road when you continue to have hits.
Well, I don't think that ever gets easy.
No, it never does.
I think the performing is nothing, and I'm sure that Brenda will agree with me. The performing is terrific.
That's great.
It's getting to where you're going.
It's putting up with that.
Right, or doing
It's all
the
that
tour.
goes into what you do on the stage beforehand that's a killer, because that's easy.
I really would be interested in knowing what you think of music today. Today's music that young people
I
are
love a
listening to.
lot of it, personally. I think that some of the contributions that have been made by people like Kenny Rogers and Lionel Richie and Barry Gibb and the Manhattan Transfer and Earth, Wind and Fire. I mean, there's a lot of good music. Sometimes we're a little short-sighted and we don't want to recognize it, but there is some really great music.
Brenda, are we missing out though a little bit on some of the love songs and some of those feelings that the songs that you used to sing, those feelings that the songs evoked?
We're getting more back to that, I think.
I think
Think
the
so?
innocence is what's really missing.
I think the innocence is what's gone. You know, when Frankie and I first started, it was like everybody was for everybody and to make the business better. And we went into the studio because we loved it, not thinking in the back of our minds, well, if I get this hit, I can do this. Right? We didn't think that way. And I think a lot of the acts are so hung up on how big they're going to be or how much money they're going to make. They tend to forget the important thing, and that's the entertaining and the getting to the people that put you where you are.
And the sensitive music, too. I mean, if you're listening to Lionel Richie or the Commodores or Kenny Rogers, they're doing a lot of great songs. And it's just that great songs are far and few between. You just can't find them anymore. I've been very fortunate having a partner who was involved with a lot of the writing. Bob Gaudio wrote Can't Take My Eyes Off You with Bob Crew.
And he just keeps putting out the hits. We're out of time, unfortunately, but thank you so much for